I just want to start stream by talking about something that happened slightly before stream, which is that I'm honestly I was just kind of sitting in my desk, you know, dozing off because I'm tired. When am I not tired? I'm always so sleepy, right? I'm just sitting here thinking about, like, man, I love streaming, but, like, also, like, getting up early for work, yada yada yada, like, just a lot. I always feel like I need more sleep, and I'm, like, thinking about this, but, like, man, I wish I could get just some more sleep in the day. And as I'm thinking about this, I hear Oswald in his pen next to me, which he always is when I'm at my desk, right? Got his little pen. He hangs out there. I'd say a good chunk of the time. He's making little noises. I look over. He's taking a nap. He's snoring. Like, for all you rabbit owners or enthusiasts out there, he's honking. I don't know how much other people. I feel like I've tried floating that term by people before, and they're like, "What the fuck?" But he's honking. Because he's, like, literally laying in standard, like, rabbit comfy position. He's splooted out, just very comfy. And he's snoring away. And I'm like, fucking, what have you done? That's right, I'm literally, like, guilt-tripping my rabbit over the amount he has not contributed around here. Because as I'm like, oh, there's so much to do. He's like, this man, whose only job is to run around and eat as much as he wants, is taking a nap in front of me, being like, oh, how much I enjoy my comforts. And I'm like, oh my lord. I cannot believe you. So, that was a fun experience as you know. As I hung out before stream. That was cool. But welcome on in. It's, you know, another day. I hope everyone's doing okay. I am, like, you know, I'm all right. Same as it ever was, you know. So, you know, I'm about as okay. I just decided to give myself a little treat, and I decided we would be doing some, oh, that's Spotify, some fan art today. I don't know what struck me, but you can see, actually let me do, boop, boop. You can see right here, this is Onsta's, dearest Onsta's streamer, general chill person, artist behind several Lil Nas X albums. This is their new VTuber. It's a robot Onsta. And I don't know why, but as they were talking about robot stuff, about being a robot on Twitch nowadays, I was like, well, wouldn't it be cool though if I could make Onsta an Autobot, a Transformer, a Cybertronian? There's too many names for those guys. So yeah, just figured we'd chill out today and do that. I'm sorry I missed stream yesterday. Honestly, I might be taking the time after work in the next few days to make sure I'm getting pigs. At least, you know, some of the pig stuff done I would have had done on stream. Like off stream, you get it, you get the gist. But yeah, I literally texted one of my friends and I was like, this is why I never believe when my family says something will be quick, because it's never quick. And you want to know about what happened with a family thing yesterday, is that it wasn't quick. so that's where I was at, where I am at. Yeah, I'm just gonna get to drawing. I really should swing by I go to the retro game store I have near me so much, but near where I used to live, there was a comic shop that I didn't actually go to too much, shockingly. I feel like I just was never given much reason, as weird as that is to say, despite being a comics guy. Like, I had plenty to read already. I didn't have an ongoing American series I was, like, fiending for. But honestly, I need to catch up on the Skybound Transformers run. And it's good to support your local shops. In fact, that's why I go to the retro game store near me so much, because I'm just like, oh lord, please. It's like the best thing. it's like the one thing. And so, but yeah, do some more I didn't even finish Transformers. I should just rewatch all of Transformers Prime, honestly, because I was loving that. Got to season 3, wasn't able to keep watching because of schedule stuff, which happens so much. I'm surprised I got through the first 2 seasons of Transformers Prime with with all the junk that goes on. So often the reasons I end up not finishing my finishing series and what have you, I didn't even mean to put this on the same layer, but it worked out, is because, like, I don't know, some junk happens and I'm just like, oh, gotta put that on pause. Guess I'll do that later. Is there like a... What's the thing note? Maybe I should extend this out more. What I should do is I should draw the wrist and hand first, as so that I may then properly know just how I need to extend this little door more. Also, yes, I'm basing Onsta's car Transformer model off this Transformer toy from, I believe it's Revenge of the Fallen. I think it's one of the Bayverse movies. But I'm gonna make Onsta boxy like a G1 Transformer, because I like those much better. And then we'll see what happens from there. Yeah. Honestly, I talked before, I think I was saying on stream, it's like, man, I want to do more fan art of shit. Transformers definitely one, because not only do I still want to keep delving into that in a general sense, but also because I love, like, the very boxy style of G1 Transformers. I think it's really cool. I mean, I'm always like, how many joints does the thumb have? I don't know, I just lose count, okay? Don't blame me. It has a different amount from the other ones. Thus, you know. Does it? It does. See, I literally just have to do that. Actually, I wonder if that's true. Have y'all ever seen hand skeletons before? It's wild. It's wild, specifically because, what was I thinking of? Specifically because, like, in a lot of ways, fingers just keep going down back to the wrist on a human hand. Hello, Unkso. Thanks for joining. Welcome on in. Cool emo. But yeah, fucking fingers just go down to the wrist. It makes me, Lord. So many skeletons and so many different pieces of media, but they've never had a skeleton use like the full range of bones in the hand. Which would be gross, but it'd be a neat skeleton trick. You know, I was weird. I mean, what else am I going to talk about after talking about skeletons? Undertale. But I was never a fan of like Undertale, AUs, or what have you. But I did kind of enjoy people being like, is Sans like wearing a mask? Just the way he's constructed in character art makes it look like he doesn't necessarily have to be like a skeleton. I don't believe that theory. I believe Sans at his word that he is a skeleton. But I thought it was fun. One blue eye. I mean, that's the risk we all run these days when we give our when we give characters heterochromia. Lord, I feel like I was seeing, and not to be rude to you, Onsta, I was seeing some like character model the other day from something, and like it had heterochromia in it, and I was just like, oh, I feel like that's one reason I don't really mess with this design. Heterochromia can be good. Like I love Catra in the Catra has fucking Catra S-pop. I want to make sure I'm not making this up. She does. But I don't know. I feel like you got to make it work in your design. You can't just throw it in on top of a whole bunch of other stuff. And the design I'm thinking of particularly, it was like a whole mess, and then it's like, oh, and then there's heterochromia in there, and I'm just like, okay. Alright. How about, well, let's pick a lane. That being said, it's not like someone couldn't be like, well, you're just jealous because all your art's in black and white, and I'm like, listen, yes, but also I like black and white, okay? If I wanted heterochromia, it would just make a white eye and a black eye. Yeah, I'll give you a black eye. That's cool. I'm just a rabbit, because I like rabbit. Oh my lord. Why do I do this to myself? 4K. But yeah. I don't know. I'm not a master of character design. That figure's way too big. I think the thumb is rightly thick. But not the finger. I can say that confidently. How big should a one of 3 fingers be? Does this guy have 3 fingers? No, he has 4. But listen, fucking, and Onsta has against the will of Michael Bay and the person I'm doing fan art for, I'm gonna give this character model 3 fingers. Old cartoon tradition. Lord. Talked about before, but I remember part of my like first lessons in cartooning was from like Nickelodeon during segments they would have in between the shows, and fucking it was hosted by Butch Hartman of all people. And now that is not a great, for several reasons, not great. But you can't help what your formative years look like. That's why they're called the formative years. You're forming. I'm gonna do like this for all of them with like, you know, little lines. Do I know how the technology that's like a tube with like segmented lines through it is supposed to work and operate and move? No. Do I love it in television and comics and sci-fi when something features that kind of technology? 100%. Have a good lurk, Onsta. I appreciate the lurk. just thinking of. First thing that comes to mind is like Dr. Octopus's stuff. Actually, let me check something real quick. I know I'm distracted, but I like doing. Also, who's texting me? Oh, Dave, my friend. Dr. Octopus first comic. Yeah, he did. He had the he just had tubes with lines on them in that first comic. Listen, sometimes early comic designs are way simpler than you think or should be, but sometimes they're way more complicated than they should be. Looking at first appearances for any character, quite a lottery of what you're gonna get. I wonder how many people out there, I mean, it's been going around a lot because Marvel Rivals, but I wonder how many people out there would look at Black Widow's like original costume and be like, yeah, that's better. It's not like it's not a sleek black jumpsuit, I'll tell you that much. See, I wonder when's the first time she rocked that, because like I've seen a lot of Hawkeye in like early 60s comics, but not a lot of Black Widow. Oop. I don't think you know, I'm not about to take my anger out on the MCU, whatever. I do not care too much about that kind of comic accuracy. But honestly, I'm not the biggest Widow fan, but I really feel like she's never been like that much of like, I'm a good guy, I'm an Avenger. Like, I think that was mostly the movies doing that. Heavy lifting for her PR. I think one day Black Widow's fucking agent rocked up to her office and was like, hey, so I got some news for you. You're gonna want to sit down for this. And she's like, what's up? And they're like, okay, so you know how they're making an Avengers movie? And she's like, yeah. And he was like, you're going to be one of the main Avengers in it. And she was like, that makes no sense. I've never done that before in my life, but you know what? Fucking works for me. I feel like so often Widow's thing, from what I've seen in comics, is like rocks up somewhere, maybe has a cool fight scene, mostly does exposition. Mostly being like, hey, there's a thing. And everyone's like, oh, the thing. And I don't mean the Fantastic Four. Love how not that. I so often make references to Miss Penny Snapcube's humor. I forget. I think it's from like a playthrough she did of Sonic Riders, but like her and her co-host, every time one of them would say, here's the thing, they would just immediately go, it's clobbering time. And I'm trying to bring that back at them, as annoying as it is, trying to bring it back in a major way with Fantastic Four coming to Rivals. I just think it's funny. The idea that every time someone says the phrase, it's clobbering time, the almost, you know, compulsive response is just, did I say it's clobbering time? Whenever someone says, here's the thing, the almost compulsive response is, it's clobbering time. See? I did it right there. I couldn't even help it. I just thought it's clobbering time. But I did it again. I just thought. here's the thing, and my brain immediately went, it's Clobbering Con. Did so twice now. I'm scared. Doctor, I can't tell if I'm not me. Let me give everyone like a new fucking YouTube rabbit hole to dive into. But like Miracle Musical, many of you may know them already. They mysterious musician made one album that popped off not too long ago. I don't think they've made anything else. Fucking, I believe it's become common like belief that people behind Miracle Musical are Tolly Hall, a band who like kind of split up, not split up in like we're through, we'll never work in this town again. Ringo wasn't there, that's for sure. But you know, like they kind of stopped making stuff. And I was just like, and I was trying to look up, it's like, has there been proof, like solid concrete evidence of just like, this is definitely these people behind this project, or is it just kind of like online deductive reasoning telling everyone like, oh, it must be these guys? I never got an answer to that question. I tried looking up like, is it confirmed? That didn't really turn anything back. I should really start on this side, just because it makes it easier to be like, ah, start there, go there. This is something on Optimus Prime, like my Optimus Prime figure, and I'm pretty sure like a couple different models of him, with little vents on his legs. I'm like, I like this texture. I'm pretty sure this would be like the underside of the car, of the alien transforming car, Onsta. So I think vents work just fine. That looks pretty cool, honestly. Not gonna lie. I'm waiting to do like heavy inking shit until, you know, until we got the colors in. Then I can go in with a bunch of different kinds of blacks and be like, shadow here, shadow there. I just realized there's a mirror here on this car. So that means there should be a mirror here. I'm not gonna bother doing that. It is funny to think of a Transformer getting pulled over because the cops are like, did you know you didn't have rear tail lights? And the Transformer is like, well, I hastily copied this model of car when I crash landed on Earth, so no, I didn't know that. And honestly, I'd appreciate it if you didn't bring it up. I feel like, from what I've seen, Transformers is a property that could benefit from maybe a bit more stop motion in their projects. I don't know, just because like they've had some pretty good 3D animations, don't get me wrong. What with, I mean, fucking Transformers 1 last year, and Prime, and basically every CGI in the Bayverse movies, even though I don't like most of those designs. But I think it is a missed opportunity that it is essentially a franchise being like, we are here to promote a toy line, and never actually bothering to, like, you know, use the toys in the animation process. I'm just thinking about it because thinking of like Generation 1 or what's it called? Animated, which is so wild that there's a version of Transformers specifically known as animated, because aren't basically all the Transformers animated. But I feel like a lot of the 2D versions of Transformers, while some good designs and at least somewhat reflected in the toys, they usually scuff some things. Because, you know, it would be really hard to just constantly try to reproduce three-dimensional shapes repeatedly over and over again, constantly shifting from one state to another via believable and consistent like transformation. I don't know. I think I repeated a lot of words there, but you get what I'm saying. So it's like, you either do 3D animation, which I don't think always hits the mark. You do 2D animation, which loses out on a lot of detail. Or you could just do stop motion and use the actual toys you're making. How does this look? I believe I have thing right here. I love how I have, like, just... I just had a window open to be looking at random bullshit. I know there's a couple G1 Transformers where, you know, their abdomen wasn't part of the transformation most of the time. So, I think Megatron's the most prominent one. Let me talk about something like hyper niche for a second. Not that that has been stopping me thus far. I just think it's interesting because, like I mentioned, I have an Optimus Prime. I mean, fucking, he's like the easiest Transformer to find out of all of them. Also, I should really do the finger junk. But here's the thing: it's clobbering time. That. So if you've ever looked at, like, the classic version of Optimus Prime, his abs is like the grill of the truck, right? The abs, his abdominal region is the area of the truck that would be front and forward of the grill, the ventilation for the what was I thinking of? For the engine. And that is because in the classic toy, like, you basically just stood him up. Like, the back, like, the legs were the bed of the truck with the wheels on them, and to transform him, you would just stand him up, the wheels swing forward, become the legs, and the arms pop out the side. Alright, you feel me? Really simple, real easy, real cool. It's one of the reasons he's a popular one, because some of them were weird and janky back then. So, like, easy to transform was easy and good looking, pretty all around success. Right? You feel me so far? But as time has gone on and they've made Transformers more complicated, kind of made it so that there's more foldy bits, so you can actually get more car and robot detail at the same time. They've tried to keep the, like, elements of, you know, Optimus's G1 robot design, obviously. But what that means is that when he's in robot mode, he has the grill as his abs, but that's not actually the grill of the truck. The specific model of Optimus Prime I have like he has a little fold when you're transforming him. You kind of you kind of like, I don't want to keep saying folding, but you bring the cabin lid over, you know, the rest of his body to complete the truck cabin. And there's a little part that folds out from there that is the actual vent for the truck mode. And I realized that transforming him one day, I was like, wait a minute. His abs, which have vents on them, are not the actual vents for the truck. I have been tricked and lied to even. And when you realize that, it makes looking at the G1 cartoon kind of funny. Because, like I was talking about with them, like, simplifying a lot of things down, the abs in that one kind of, like, I don't want to say they morph, because that kind of infers that they're, like, liquidy, which is not the case, but rather, they sort of, they sort of go from a trapezoidal shape as his abs to, like, square as the truck, but you know, they slide a bit. It's just weird. I don't know how many other Transformers you can see that kind of stuff with, because obviously Optimus is the most famous one for several reasons, and I think far more is done to like try and preserve the recognizable look than say even with Bumblebee. At this point, I imagine what is considered the, like, recognizable look of Bumblebee is the ones wildly influenced by the Bayverse films. Not his G1 look, which even the Bayverse films were like, okay, well, we gotta do that. Come on. Like, and they changed his colors a little bit, and people were like, oh my, oh. Fucking give Onsta some stickers. I'm trying to look at like other Transformers and Onsta's model to be like, are there any like, you know, details on the abdomen region? And both of them are like, no. I'm like, okay. Because we got a freestyle Jazz with this. Jazz the Transformer. He's one of them. He died in the 80s movie. I'm sorry to tell you guys this. It was really toxic of them to do that. I've been meaning to look up if like G1 Bumblebee survived, because there's a lot of very famous popular Transformers that died in the 80s movie. I think Optimus technically included, because like he dies but then he comes back, because that's the thing Optimus loves to do. Hasbro trying to make, you know, popular children's hero and have dramatic twists in their show, accidentally creating a Christ narrative. I say that, but Hasbro also made like the Ouija board, like wholesale. Not. I don't think it has any other kind of like occult ties. They just created it as a goof. Now there's like a horror movie around it because people are like, oh, it's actually demonic. Meanwhile, it's like, I can go buy this at Target. I can go buy it at Target, and if I try to make my own, Hasbro Entertainment will be like, oh, we're suing you. How many demonic artifacts are like, no, we, popular toy company, actually own the rights to that entirely, and will not allow you to make another version of it. I genuinely thought like the Ouija board was much older than it was before learning. It's like, no, it's a thing. Who came up with that? Who came up with that, and can they be arrested? Like, I'm not even trying to be like Facebook mom about it. I'm just like, whose idea was it at a toy company to be like, you know what would make a fun toy and like a popular one too? A board that allows children to commune with the dead, and like, and yeah, I know it's become popular since then, but if I was in charge, I would have been like, you're fired. Hey, dude, wicket fired. I don't usually do that for when someone is just trying to spitball ideas. But what you just said was crazy. What was it? You suggested we encourage, we sell children the fantasy. Because, I mean, I'm really hoping you're not inferring we have the actual technology to commune with the dead. We wouldn't be a toy company if that was the case. You're saying we should make children think we sell a product that lets them commune with the afterlife? That's what you're saying to me right now? No, not even on any like religious precedent. That's just an insane thing to suggest we sell to children. Am I supposed to go up to, like, when a kid comes up to me as the owner, as the guy in charge of Hasbro, with their newly bought Ouija board, which you want to call it for some reason, and is like, hey, Mr. Hasbro, will this let me talk to my dead granddad? I'm supposed to look at the child, I'm supposed to look at this child and say yes? Causing both a legal, just, you know, a legal and moral nightmare. Hiya, Paula. Paula, am I talking out my ass here? Or is the whole premise of a Ouija board just kind of insane? You know what I'm saying? The idea of use this board game to commune with the afterlife. The fact that someone thought that would be a good children's toy. To me, that seems like a crazy thing. A thing a crazy person did. That's the perspective I'm taking on him, but I'm not gonna act like I speak for everyone here. This feels like crazy talk. What's crazy about it? Okay, so if I can parse your sarcasm for a bit, you are somewhat in agreement with me. It's like, hi, Mr. Hasbro. They said my grandma was really sick, but I'm not worried because I bought the Ouija board, so I can still call her later, right? And again, I'm supposed to say yeah. Mr. Hasbro is supposed to say yes to the child. And then, as Mr. Hasbro, I would say, dude, we make Barbie, Transformers, and D&D. If we can't find a way to make money off those properties one way or another, then that's our fault. And then I look at Hasbro in the present, who's having trouble making money off those properties. And being a general, from what I understand, general not very nice about it. So. I wouldn't call it a good... That's what I'm saying, right? I think at best, liberally at best, it's snake oil. It is like definition snake oil. At best, maybe novelty item. Of like, oh, spooky item. Use it to talk to ghosts. And at worst, it's just a really bad idea. It's a really bad idea for a kid's toy. Could you imagine if they made the Rubik's Cube and they said to kids, hey, if you solve this, you'll have the power of God. And everyone went along with it. That would be everyone would agree that's a crazy thing to do. That wouldn't get far. in you know, in the branding stage, in the selling stage. I think people would pretty quickly be like, no, I don't actually think so. Fair enough, it sucks out your soul. Exactly. I feel like I just remind myself every now and then. I don't think I took it in originally that Ouija wasn't like a, you know, in something adapted from like spiritualism, that is older itself than like our capitalistic ways. No, it's a kid's toy. It's a kid's toy that was come up by toy makers to sell toys. It's like, what? Truly insane. Truly an insane thing to try and sell to children. How much did Hasbro have? Also, I was saying I was saving inking for once we're like real done, but tires are a different thing. Tires are gonna be that color no matter what. But yeah. I'd like to talk to the people came up with the Ouija board for Hasbro and be like, so what were you smoking? At least in comics, I was mentioning classic comic shenanigans before. At least when like Jack Kirby or, you know, other classic comic creators came up with an insane idea, the premise is, well, we're making a story about this, and we're making it crazy and outlandish so that we can sell our books. You know, make it something people will buy. And since our main market is kind of a younger audience, it doesn't have to make the most sense. Pig! This is Xenoblade. I promise. Hiya, Pig. I have a feeling I know what you were streaming. Shout out at Fantastic Mr. Pig. What? Xenoblade Chronicles 3? That's not possible! It can't be! Also, you got it, Greg. Pig would never play Xenoblade. Never, ever, ever, ever. What? It's never happened, never will. Welcome on in, Raiders. If you don't know me, I'm Cahill. I'm a comic artist who likes to play games, everything from action-adventure to platformers. I'm playing a lot of Sonic recently. Also, listen, whether or not I'm working on Xenoblade at the moment, can we all just take a second and agree on something? The Ouija board is an awful kid's idea, and I don't know who approved of it. I'm gonna look up right now when the Ouija board came out. Ouija board, yep. Ouija board. 19. History. Precursors. Okay, well this does Commercial parlor game. Charles Kennard, the founder of Kennard Novelty Company, claims to have invented the board with his big business partner Elijah Bond, who patented it with his help from his sisters-in-law. The local patent office review. Do you know 1901? That's a long time ago, but it's not long enough ago to give them an excuse. Now, I've been talking about this for a while, Nikki. Because, you know, we're doing, if y'all don't know, I'm doing fan art of Dearest Onsta, which, well, actually, has it been long enough that Twitch will let me shout out Onsta? Onsta. Bond, Elijah Bond. Yeah, Onsta. They made themselves a robot recently, and I was like, Transformers. So. Also, I am kind of proud of this. I found this Bayverse character. This Bayverse design. And for this model of car that Onsta wants to be. And I like how it kind of matches with her jacket. Haven't added Peter. Beans, you're so right. I should get on that. Peter. I love how it's named Peter Eroticism when it's basically just a JPEG of like Peter Griffin's like face details. Like, I know the context is from a comic about eroticism, but the fact that out of context is just like, this is just Peter Griffin. Why is it labeled eroticism? That's very funny. I'll get on that before next week. Hey, did y'all notice something? I'm pretty sure when I moved back from Jersey, from Florida to Jersey, yes, when I moved back from Florida to Jersey, I was like, I'm gonna get back into streaming, and then immediately had to cancel a stream I had planned. And then this week, I was like, okay guys, I took a little break. Time to get back into streaming, and then immediately I had to cancel a stream because of stuff. Why is life like this? Someone explain. Someone explain to me. Explain it in small words so I can understand it. Also, wait, let me look at Fantastic Mr. Pig's schedule. Okay, he is still doing Marvel Rivals on Sunday. I didn't know if you were gonna alternate. I mean, you might, or if you're gonna follow up with more Marvel Rivals, or do a different multiplayer game. I might also be playing Marvel Rivals on stream this week because I want to keep. I don't know. I could just play. I wanted to do mostly games next week, and I could just play the next two games in Sonic Origins. Those being Sonic 2 and Sonic 3. But I don't know. Is anyone here gonna stick around? And I could end the sentence there, because I'm already losing viewers. But is anyone around here really gonna stick around for like several classic Sonic streams in a row? I like to switch I like to keep people on their toes. I like it when that was a thing, you know. I like it to make it so that when people tune in, like they just randomly find me and I'm like, hey guys, I'm on the edge and I'm about to break. Also bringing new people. I love classic Sonic. I was talking about it before. I love the art of the adventure era, but classic Sonic just has something to him where I'm just like, oh, dude, this is the guy. Also, I'm going to be playing like Sonic 2, 3, Mania, and Superstars in a row before we go to the 3D one. But to me, the way it goes is that Sonic 1, CD 2, 3, and then you either play the adventure games and like colors and never 06, even though I have to play 06, or you play Mania Generations Mania Superstars. Because Sonic did a kind of, you know what? We do kind of have to give it to Sega. Even though it's a band-aid for them making bad games for several years, and as a way to go back and redo the formula they had in the 90s, and to cash in on nostalgia, but they did the time split thing better than like Zelda, which no one pays attention to, and no one really cares about the Zelda timeline, because it doesn't make sense, and it never made sense, and they didn't even really need a Zelda timeline. If anything, it might have been fun just to be like, yeah, they're all connected kind of somehow. You can figure it out. It's mystery. Ooh. Welcome to the Mystery Shack, where the only thing more mysterious than the exhibits is why anyone spends money here. No, please, really, spend your money. Some odd timeline. Well, that's Shadow the Hedgehog. I think I was talking about how like I was trying to look for that for the GameCube, but it was weirdly expensive. But also, what I should look up about that is whether or not like the time travel shenanigans is canon in that one, or if that's just like a Snapcube thing. If there is no in-game explanation for Shadow having multiple endings, and it was just a thing they wanted to do, and then Snapcube was just like, it's me, the devil from the Bible. I'm here to convince you to do sin, steal candy from babies with me, and small businesses. And to be fair, that was an inspired performance. Also, I don't know if I said this on a different stream. We should give credit to Sega. Oh wait, I did say this on a different stream, but still, I'll say it again. We should give some credit to Sega for being like, that's right, baby, we're bringing back Black Doom. Little Freudian slip there because we're so excited. And it's gonna be good this time. I also don't know if I talked about this. Is there any, because this is what I've assumed, but is it canon that the reason the Bio Lizard looks different from Shadow is because Black Doom was like, hey, Gerald, use my DNA for this shit. I've got that good DNA. You know. Good DNA the way it existed is. That's me, Black Doom. Gerald Robotnik, man with apparently a 300 IQ, said, all right. Literally making a Faustian bargain. Trying to save Maria. I wonder how many people went in to Sonic 3. Wait. No, you are the second person to try cracking it, I've gotta say. And it's really weird, because I already gave you the answer. I gave it to you, but you don't remember. So I guess you're gonna have to try cracking it. Anyway, I wonder how many people expected to go into Sonic 3, the movie, and have Maria actually have an immunosuppressant deficient disease. Because that's in the games. It's wild that that's in the games, but not the movies. The reason Maria is anywhere near Shadow and, you know, is on a space station in the first place is because her immune system's all wanked up and she can't she can't live on Earth with people, which, I mean, I don't think that's normally what happens. I think most people are just like, well, this suck, you know. So it's like, well, then maybe you have to jog your memory, meat. That's honestly just another reason I need to play Shadow the Hedgehog. Just be like, they did put this in this game. That's a thing. That's a thing. Well, I gotta look this up because someone's gonna put in the comments, no, Maria doesn't have a disease like that. Maria Robotnik, and apparently fucking Robotnik is a Polish name, which is really funny. Disease. Maria Robotnik from Sonic the Hedgehog was diagnosed with neuroimmune deficiency syndrome. NIDS is a disease that was difficult to treat at the time of Maria's diagnosis. Is NIDS real? NIDS. The first is NIDS Sonic. NIDS Sonic. Fucking the first thing is a Sonic. I don't like that the first thing to come up is like neuroimmune deficiency syndrome. I don't like that the first thing to come up is like that on a Sonic wiki. That's wild. I mean, there's a lot of wild things when you go down a Sonic rabbit hole, especially if you involve the comics. But take it from me, comics man, don't. Have I read the Sonic comics? No. The Archie Sonic comics? No. Have I heard the stories? Yes. Yes, I've heard tell. I've heard tell of what have happened in those dark corners. I'm sorry to be any big Archie Sonic fans out there. It's just they did some crazy things. And by they, we all know who I mean by they. Let's be real. Let us not mince words. We know who to blame. 90s was a wild time. I'm sorry, I'm still reeling from the fact that I looked up what is apparently a fictional immune disease, which is already like, okay. Apparently its only source is from Sonic the Hedgehog. That's what I'm trying to look up if it's fictional or not, but the only thing to come up is Sonic the Hedgehog. And that's disturbing for so many reasons. And then one of the things on the Sonic wiki was Maria in a wheelchair. And I hadn't seen that before. And I was like, oh no. Oh no. You think Knuckles ever did that voice line? Shadow was like briefing everyone on his backstory since they didn't have much time to talk during Sonic Adventure 2. And through so much of it, fucking Knuckles just goes, oh no. Just like, Knuckles, you're not helping. Wildly inappropriate time. I'm sorry. Up, up, up. Honestly, I will say this. I think giving Sonic any kind of an origin story, which I'm pretty sure the Archie comics kind of did. I think that's a mistake. I'm gonna be real here. Also, I think I really messed up this kind of knee thing I was going for. to the Tide car. No, I'm turning her into a box car. A Chevrolet Lumina, specifically. Because I replied to a Robo Onsta post like, hey Onsta. Hey Robo Onsta. I wasn't role-playing. It's like, hey Onsta, if you could be... Is there a specific car you really like? And she said, the car from Daytona. And then I had to look up what kind of car was in the video game Daytona. To which the answer is general stock car. And I was like, what is a stock car? Because I don't know that much about racing. And they said, a car that is stock. And I was like, alright. And then I looked up what kind of stock cars were there in the 90s. And they said, these ones. I said, thank you. Kiryu isn't featured anywhere. Well, Kiryu would have to be a different Transformer. And I'll let Onsta decide whether or not they want a Kiryu Transformer. I think first we would have to sell Onsta on the idea of them being a Transformer, so... Onsta first, Kiryu after. Could be a decal, that is true. But I'm gonna be real, I don't know where I'd be comfortable putting that, so we're leaving it for now. I know I'm drawing Onsta as a car, but to some degree that almost feels like me being like, hey Onsta, I'm drawing you with a tattoo you don't have. Honestly, I'm doing a life hack. No one tell the artist on Twitter. I'm doing a life hack here. I'm just gonna copy and paste this calf, this robotic calf. not a cow, but you know, other kind. Because they're supposed to be at the same angle. I don't feel like redoing all these curves. And yeah, works out. I love art. I love it when I can make gatekeeping artists say that I'm cheating. My favorite. I actually haven't really... I know that's a thing that's gone around on earlier days of the internet, but me myself, I haven't really encountered anyone try to be like, hey, don't do that, that's cheating at art. I don't think it's really a thing. At least not now. And if it is, then those people need to go. Hey, the 90s call. They want to know what kind of stock car they should use. Gatekeeping art. You fucking rube. Up. But yeah. Man, what was I thinking of? There's a TikTok I saw not too long ago, and it was talking about the Transformers G1 stuff, like seeming like, not seeming, but being a kind of a certain art style, and I was like, oh, I like this, and I feel like I tried to save it, but I can't find it now. And I want to find that art style again. I should, I should, no, not what I meant. I should just look up like different kinds of retro futurism art styles. Because that would probably be the best match. But we love retro futurism around here. That's for sure. I remember Pig was in like his Discord. Was like, hey, what's this kind of like futuristic stuff called? And I was like, oh, is it this? And he was like, no, you're wrong. I'm like, okay. To be fair, I think he wasn't. For anyone who is never clear, Pig's not rude. And also, he was trying to get like a hyper specific one. And I was like, at that point, you might just have to make up your own word. If the showrunners didn't coin the style, then you can. When you can, you can. I do want to match some detail. I try to get this little shoulder joint she has here, and then I was trying to match the details on the sneakers here as best I could. Maybe even give her a bit of a Sonic sneaker. Sonic Underground, Sonic Underground. They made a vow their mother will be found. And then she wasn't, because it was a one season of the show. They didn't bother wrapping up that plow. It wasn't it just half a season even? They made a notion their mother would be found. I gotta say, another Sonic thing I've not consumed a lot of is like Sonic Sat-Am, Saturday morning Sonic cartoon. I feel like part of the reason why is because I don't like that Robotnik design. I think they really fucked with Robotnik's design in the classic style for no reason at all, really, other than they're just like, this looks better, and I would have gone in there and been like, no, it doesn't. It's wild that he has black eyes. Anyway, he has like black eyes and red pupils. So, that's wild. Oh my goodness. What was I thinking of? I mean, right now what I'm thinking of is that I get texted at wildly inopportune times. That's have bad luck with timing, honestly. It's never going. Clock's never ticking my way. Also, honestly, I think the little boots thing down here, that's good. Like I've been doing before, this curve needs to be worked on more. A more consistent curve for the sneaker. There we go. Yeah. I definitely talked about this on stream before. I don't know if anyone else gets this feeling, but Sometimes it really feels like it's like, oh, I'm going to try and do something, and then a bunch of junk all happens at once, and it's like, I have no desire to do anything anymore. I love how I'm working on this, and this looks like an Eggman robot from just from the legs. And honestly, I'm sure Onsta would semi-approve of that. A robot version of her that looks like a badnik. Also, I really feel like the weirdest thing about, like, not to get back on this, the weirdest thing about, like, that Sonic Saturday morning kind of cartoon, what have you, is just because, like, Sonic's plot is not necessarily so wild or you know, foreign to American audiences from the games that it needs to be majorly overworked. I mean, I say that, but there was literally never any good video game adaptations back then. Like, back then, by the time that cartoon came out, it was still just like Sonic needs to beat up robots because he keeps kidnapping flickies. I mean, I guess they adapted that a little bit in some areas, but it's just weird. But then again, you know, I guess at the end of the day, so many 90s video games adaptations were like the way they were because the people looked at the source material and were like, oh, we'll rewrite this. No, don't worry. We'll fix it. And it's just like, so. And also, to be clear, I know I was talking, I might have been taking some pot shots at the comics before, but me saying that about the cartoon, I'm not even trying to criticize it. I just think it's weird that they were just like, yep, we're gonna redo some of this. Huh. Honestly, you know what I'm excited for? I'm excited to draw the little Autobot symbol. Those are fun to draw. I mean, I haven't drawn one before. So I'm like, oh, well, I haven't drawn it, but listen, I like geometric art. Also, I should, you know, I should try looking at what, like, Optimus's Prime's gun looks like. Speaking of, like, you know, late 80s, 90s kind of stuff. You gotta appreciate franchises like Transformers kind of being insane. Because in all practicality, it was like shows where the main characters died and got maimed and what have you. But it's like, but everyone was chill with it because they were robots. And then you look back and it's like, oh, that's kind of, that's kind of brutal. I don't know. We were like okay with this. Up, get down. Yeah. Honestly, I don't. So like, some of y'all might know, like, I'm working on my own stuff. Very, very sci-fi, direct it kind of book and what have you, right? I don't really get into this idea at all in it, so I would have to make kind of a different concept with it. But the whole, I would say trope, definitely trope, in different pieces of media. I'm not even gonna say older, because like I think you could still probably find some nowadays, where you could have, my voice just cracked saying that. I'm getting so emotional. You could have like alien characters, whether they be background characters or, you know, side characters equally as fleshed out as the main cast. You could have them and they would just be subjected to just brutal deaths. But never give that kind of treatment to the main cast. And granted, I'm not saying that's what I want. It's the opposite. I'm saying I want I want the alien cast members to get some respect. You know? I just always found that crazy. I have always found that crazy. I will always find that crazy. I'm afraid that this is on the wrong layer. Oh, I got a burp. Oh my lord, no one in my family noticed. Which, actually, probably not a good thing. Well, no one in my family noticed, but not, like, as I was sitting at home in between, like, dinner and now, you know, fucking, just kind of waiting for stream. I had one of my little energy drinks that I like to drink, right? Alright, you feel me? You get me so far? And then I almost choked on it. Almost died. It was not a pleasant experience. I'm like, oh my god, wow. That felt just kind of generally awful. I might just have Onsta do them finger guns. Just the pew pew pew. Cause I like the pose, but there's not like a blaster design I want to do, and it's so off to the side. So I think I'm just gonna go with that. Have Onsta give a kind of, hey, what's going on? I'm like, how did I design the robot palms? Before. Get rid of these. I'm not trying to do more of that. I gave up on doing gun. You know, that's another. I didn't even talk. I love how I was like, yeah, it's wild that, you know, this was what was happening with Maria in the Sonic games. I didn't even talk about like the fact that the fictional government agency akin to SHIELD or what have you, is named Gun in the Sonic franchise, and they kept that for the movies. They're like, no, it's still Gun. I'm like, yeah, it stands for something, I'm sure. But when I know for a fact that when you like when you're making a fictional agency with an acronym name, you think of the acronym first, and you're like, yeah, that'd be cool. That'd be really neat if it was called that, you know? So the writers at Sonic Team definitely were just like, well, first it's called Gun. Let's not get it twisted. Yeah, so it's good. Quick check. How's the whole kind of hand design looking at the moment? Look. I'm trying to think of something to say that's not just I'd like to quit my job. Because I'm like, I want to work on this more, and then I'm like, I gotta work tomorrow. Ugh. Oh well. I just start working on my Eeyore impression for the way I talk about some things. It's just nice to be included. I mean, who doesn't like Eeyore? The answer should be nobody. Eeyore is great. We're just trying to make it in this crazy world. Pretty sure I saw like a post about someone talking about something along like, I get so upset when just things happen to Winnie the Pooh and his friends, because they're so nice, they're so innocent. Why would anything, let alone nature itself, want to do these guys any bad? And I'm like, you know what? You kind of have a point. I like the whole Winnie the Pooh cast. I'm kind of biased. I grew up with that, but I grew up loving the Winnie the Pooh movie from Disney. Like, I'm not so attached that when, you know, Pooh gets in a predicament, I'm just like, oh no, how could this happen to my boy? But I like them. I like the cut of their jib. Okay. I have a couple things to do here to try and keep the proportions right. Also, honestly, I'm kind of fuckins with this. I think I should add some details on the side here. Also, when did this happen? I did not notice or fix that. Oops. But this design in general, it's definitely feeling very oh, and also this got messed up. Oh wow, oh wow, oh wow. I think I did something without meaning to. Oops. Here's what we'll do. Easy fix. Easy fix, because that was a copy and paste. So we just copy and paste. It's that easy. I didn't notice Onsta's 4-dimensional leg. I love how I've been talking about Onsta being, you know, rebranding to be like a bit of a robot, right? Well, not rebranding. They still have most of the spacey brand theme stuff. But I love how I talk about Onsta being a robot now, but not that they're the first 4-dimensional VTuber existing throughout all of time and space simultaneously. The execution is amazing, and the technology is insane. I just realized. Yeah, there should be a tire on that side, huh? I know I have like more finger stuff to do. Wild way to put it. I don't have more finger stuff to do, but fucking. I'm gonna do that real quick. I think that's good. Very simple. Just kind of have it as a backdrop for the rest of the body. The body, adi. You know, can I say, as I'm thinking about some things right now, just going in the back of my head, I don't know how much I've talked about this. One frustration I have with making the comics right now, which I mean, I feel like has shown through at different points, is just that if I ever want to make like physical versions, I need a lot of comics, like a lot, to warrant any kind of like printing. Because like, in order for them to fill a traditional kind of page size, you need multiple stacked on top of each other, which then requires many to fill a book, and I'm just like, oh, I'm not there yet. And to some degrees, I think about that a lot as I'm working on more comics, even though I try to just go with the flow as I'm making them. But the way I said that, random tangent. I mean, that's what all my streams are, but random tangent. The way I said that made me think that one artist I follow, I'll probably forget his name right now. I'm just gonna skip it because like, well, actually, give me 1 second. Let me look this up. Just because the video is actually good if you're looking for Adobe alternatives. James Lee. He does animation. And usually it's all kind of insane, right? You feel me? But recently he did a video where he was talking about getting away from using Adobe products and trying out new things. And it was very chill. And it was going through like the creative process and everything. His creative process and just in general, what different apps can offer you in the creative process. And I was like, that's pretty cool. It was also wild to hear him much more mellow. Yeah, he's cool. Makes it really cool. I love his style. His art style reminds me of like, I keep bringing up like the 90s. Like 90s, early 2000s, kind of like Toonami, Adult Swim, kind of like bumpers and what have you. Which honestly, I feel like bumpers have always been the only thing network television has over like any other medium. But it's really cool. Does some good work. Hopefully he doesn't do something that gets him in trouble and then I have to be like, well, guy mentioned liking on stream did something awful. Time to say, hey, I don't like that, obviously. I don't think anyone's ever expected me to do that, but still. Minimum responsibility, I'd argue. Endorsing a later problematic artist. You know, I think reasonable people are like, well, clearly they didn't know this at the time. But then again, 1, minimum responsibility. 2, not everyone's reasonable. So, and it's kind of how the internet is. least at this point, there's enough people, there's enough YouTubers making apologies that it's like, just in case. It's pretty reasonable. Just assume if you are watching a VOD and I say, this content creator I like, and you're like, well, in the year 2067, I know that content creator to be problematic. Assume I did not know and wouldn't approve. That's a safe assumption. All arounder. And me too, I do give that caveat a lot, but it's an important reminder. I remember in one Discord today we were talking about like art versus artist kind of junk. And I mean, that's a whole conversation unto itself, but you know, to some degree you can't help it when it's like, artist I love. Worst person ever. I didn't know that. I wouldn't have gotten that from these books. What? Impossible. Oh boy, exactly. I definitely have the reaction when I'm watching old content and someone mentions like some like person who has come out to be just a straight up criminal, which I mean that's usually where it goes to, right? No matter where it starts as drama, it's then like, well, they've been uncovered for crimes, and it's like, well, fucking oh, like I'm watching older media. Someone mentions someone, and I'm like, uh-oh. and I know it's not them endorsing anything, but it is definitely the media showing its age, right? I'm just like I'm not grabbing the Knuckles here. I'm not grabbing Knuckles the Echidna. You don't grab Knuckles the Echidna. He's sensitive. I do kind of like how they've done Knuckles in the movies. I was talking so much ish about different Sonic adaptation before. I like Knuckles in the movies. Because so much of like general, I don't want to say mischaracterization, because it is them, it is like an official Sega thing, but it's, in later years it's just Knuckles being dumb. I don't think Knuckles is dumb. He's naive, but he's not like dumb. And I would definitely say in the Sonic movie, he is naive more than he's just straight up dumb, you know? He is a fish out of water. And also, he's kind of cool again. And we love Knuckles being kind of cool. What should I food? What would be easy and healthy for Paula to eat? Let's see. I'm thinking. I don't want to say pizza. Pizza's a good fallback for anything. You might have already had it. I always say like pasta or burgers when you ask me this. Honestly, you want to know something, Paula? If you have any like oatmeal, any good oatmeal or what have you in the house, maybe give that a shot. Oatmeal's pretty good. Maybe see if there's anything good you can have that's like almost breakfast for dinner. Breakfast for dinner slaps. We all know it to be true. So, much healthy things here. Well, my answer remains maybe a little healthy. Maybe try breakfast for dinner if there's something in the house you can grab for that. If not, pizza. No money for people. And no oatmeal. Well, if our options are that limited, then my answer would just be what's in your cabinet. But I don't know what's in your cabinet. And you're asking me. I mean, if you have instant Kraft macaroni and cheese, that's not necessarily healthy. But it's not bad. I eat it. I eat a lot of it. I'm not sponsored. So you could try that. I was trying to think outside the box, but you're like, no, limit your options. And I was like, okay. Well, like, if you insist. Dino Nuggies. I don't even like Dino Nuggies like that. I think I was on stream when I was like, I like McDonald's Nuggies. Also not sponsored by McDonald's. No way. No the fuck no. Anyway, but then like Juice was like, yeah, they like copyrighted the way they made those, and I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? You can't do that. Let me have that kind of nugget without the guilt of going to McDonald's for lunch. Damn it. Well, what would be... Any chance you can get like fried chicken somewhere? Okay, what about a kind of chicken? Doesn't have to be fried. Is chicken on the menu though? I said that and I was like, I don't know if that's cheaper or more expensive than pizza. You gotta eat you just gotta eat raw lettuce. Don't eat raw lettuce. I'm pretty sure that's bad for you. Just the head of lettuce, you know? Just for the heck of it. Cahill Comics encourages viewers to go out into the forest and eat the first thing they see. In a new trend, singles of just a small number of people, really, are going outside just eating random stuff they find in the woods. Most of them don't live near the woods, which is kind of the bigger problem. A nugget farm. Damn it. And also, you know what? You even said, Paula, I had fucking nuggets and mac and cheese, but I didn't even register the nuggets as being a type of chicken. Damn it. Damn it. Paula, I'm really just gonna say, you know, do you have it? You gotta have egg, right? Can you have egg? Have egg. Egg good for you. Egg good for you. Egg technically a piece of chicken. Yellow like mac and cheese. Nuggets are made out of chicken. Yeah. I know. You have no egg. You have no egg. Paula, you must have egg. Corn fritters. I swear, Paula's like, I have corn fritters. I'm just gonna be like, I'm never playing this game again. Well, obviously I have corn fritters, Kale. What kind of weirdo would I be if I didn't just have loose corn fritters in my cabinet? Oh, no corn fritters. Oh, thank the Lord. Paula, this is really feeling like you're having us guess what's in your kitchen. If I'm being I'm trying to think, what's in my kit? Do you have cheese? Just cheese, shredded or otherwise, and either bread or corn tortillas? Do you have either of those ingredients? I'm going to an old Cahill classic here. So hopefully Paula has at least some of these things. Your shredded cheese, limited bread though. Is that no corn tortillas, or just like limited supply of regular bread / tortillas. No tortillas. Damn it. I still feel like you can make something good with shredded cheese. You just gotta find the proper thing to have it on. Okay, this is my final answer, Paula. Find something in your kitchen that exists and is food and would be certified by the FDA, maybe Gordon Ramsay, that would go good with your supply of shredded cheese. I believe in you. You can do this. I love having cheesy things. Fucking, if you have a bagel, you could probably make like little bagel pizzas. I have bagel. I believe in Paula's ability to put shredded cheese on something edible and have a good meal with that. I know they have it within them. Consume the cheesy spatula. Ah, no! I was explicitly trying to keep something like that from happening. Oh, I'm going to jail for poisoning someone over the internet. Oh no. And then everyone who's ever talked about me online before has to come forward and be like, hey, so I know I talked about KO Comics before, but some stuff has come out and they don't really seem like the coolest person. So just so you know, I do not endorse or support anything they have done in relation to this incident, and I wish the best for the people affected by it. Disavow. These fingers look funky, but I kind of want to leave them. One, so that way I can paint them all shiny metal, and two, just because it's like it's a robot. Like, you know, those fingers don't look like real fingers. Yeah, well, fucking Hasbro's approach is to make like fucking weird, craggly mittens. So I think I did a pretty okay job. Jagged overlapping squares on what? For Paula to eat? I hope not. Paula, don't eat your circuit board. Man, I am excited once I get through some of the other modern games to get back to Colors. I only played Colors once, and like, I didn't like it as much as a lot of the classic games, but the music's a bop, which is the case with like 9 out of 10 Sonic games, and there is some great stuff in there. There's a reason that in like 2006 to 2017, Colors and Unleashed were the beacons shining in the darkness. I am even as I make fun of werehogs, like, I can admit that much. I'm gonna be in front of like a jury one day, and they'll be like, having played Sonic Unleashed, do you take back what you said about werehogs? No. Never. Have a good dip, meat. I'll see you around. Have a good one. Man, robot bodies are complicated. The surprise of no one. I'm not gonna lie. Usually when I'm like cutting a stream a little shorter, it's because like I'm tired, right? Like I'm actively tired. That's not the feeling I have right now. The feeling is that I've been streaming for a long time. Which is also wild because I didn't stream yesterday. I might be losing it. This is a load of barnacles. Alright. Well, you want to know something? I'm going to make sure I'm going to get proper head ref. And the reason is because we're going to peanut butter sandwich. Well, I should have thought of that. But I think oh no, I'm not ending. I was just saying, usually when I've gone for a bit, I end stream because I'm feeling tired. But right now I'm not feeling tired, but I do feel like I've been streaming for a bajillion years. Time is passing differently, is what I'm saying. I don't know what that means, but that's a sign of fucking that's a sign of depression. It's like, ah. Go to Google for medical stuff. It's either terminal or it's depression. It's one of those. That's for sure. Oh wait. Oh wait. Transform, scale. I am gonna make Onsta's head a weird ass shape for the sake of that's kind of how just Cybertronian bodies look like. Hope you if it's terminal depression. A little bigger, a little bit more. Because here's the thing, honestly, the head on this is already kind of tiny in comparison to the general body proportions. But that's just kind of an overall feature of, like, Transformers across media of all kinds. Because, you know, their head's got a... One, they should kind of look somewhat, like, intimidating. Not intimidating, but at least large. And I feel like small head, easy way to do that. They're already big robot, you make their head small. Fucking huge. Imposing, that's another word for it. Am I good with words? No. Nah. I've gotta reach for the stars, although they look pretty far. This song makes me smile and take a chance on today. Wait, wait. I'm making this wildly more complicated than it needs to be, the thing I'm doing right now. There we go. And we're gonna reach for the stars. Comfort game Sanic. I was like, I gotta match this line over here, and I was like, wait a minute. Copy and paste. Boom. I want Onsta to have an even bigger smile as a Transformer. You know, one thing I like in, like, I think the Netflix series is the main example, though there might be others. But in like different reinterpretations of like the G1 style and everything, the faces typically remain flat, like kind of like what I'm doing here. And what that means more often than not is that the face, which is typically the one thing that really moves, I mean not the face, the mouth, which is typically the one thing that really moves on the face, like it ends up becoming like this morphing piece of metal in the midst of an otherwise stagnant metal sheet. And honestly, I think that's fun. I like that. I'm like, wow, that's wild to look at. It's wild to fixate on. I think I definitely talked on our stream about like Ultron in the Avengers movie, and more than his personality, I didn't like the metal lips. Just the cut that out. Metal lips were never a good idea. I thought about like the head design, and I'm just like, just keep the hair. Would this just end up being kind of like a blob of metal on Onsta's head as an Autobot? Yes. Is that probably what it is on their robot design? Also, yes. Actually, I think in here it's meant to be like holographic, which is pretty cool. Uh-oh. Wrong layer. Onstabots rollout. I was thinking, I was like, can I make like because there's more factions in Transformers than just like the Autobots and the Decepticons. I was like, can I give Onsta something unique? And I was like, no, not really. Honestly, Onsta's such a spark of joy, it's hard to think of her as being something other than just a good old Autobot. And is saying good old Autobot a vast oversimplification of the Cybertronian Civil War conflict? Yes. But I stand by it. I say that, but you know, that depends on what you're reading, what you're watching. Sometimes it is that easy. Sometimes the Decepticons are just straight up bad dudes. And there's nothing, and there's no help in that. Sometimes there's a bit more depth to it than that, but again, depends. More time for more circles. This stream has been a lot of me just being like circle, circle, square, circle. Prolonged exposure to the orb of confusion will cause confusion. Good SpongeBob bit. I wonder, do you think the Orb of Confusion in SpongeBob is more like blacking out drunk, or like getting a headache? Like, do you think it kind of, because like remember at the end of that episode, SpongeBob and Patrick just turn it on for funsies? Like, did they just do that because it's fun, or is it like a party high? A wild question no one was asking. But we do important work here. Including questions about the Orb of Confusion from SpongeBob. I need a new layer for this. I like this song. I cannot sing as fast as the vocal samples. I have to imagine that the vocal samples for Metallic Madness Part 2 in Sonic Mania are sped up. Mayhaps there's some like documentary out there that proves me wrong, but the idea that someone just sings that fast as like Eggman is crazy. Crazy to me. I'm basically just head bopping to this song. Because again, can't sing that fast. I try. That's how Eggman's able to outrun Sonic in all those classic games. Because he raps that fast. He said, if you think my running's fast, you should hear me on a beat. And everyone's like, Eggman, you're just so white. And he was like, listen, I know I got a talent for it. You just gotta see. And then they heard the song and they're like, oh, you know what? Fair enough. Eggman, do all of Rap God right now. Eggman, if you can do all of Rap God, we will just give the planet to you. You know what if I connected the little stripies right back to the headphones? That'd be cool. And as much as I love vocal samples, gotta hand it to Chemical Plant Zone. Pretty good. Is Metal Madness the only track in Sonic Mania with vocal samples? I can't think offhand of any other ones, but I listen to Metallic Madness just a lot in general, so... Nope. Trying to bring that in line more with the other little bumps. I'm gonna try copying the reference right there more, because the idea of it kind of being like a fan design back here, that's cool for a robot. Onsta's got some rotor blades at the end of her hair. That's how she stays cool. You know it. Fan cooled. Is Liquid cool? As someone who's never built a PC and may never, depending on how things go, is liquid cooling just all together better than fan cooling, or is there actually like, well, no, actually, like if you have super high performance, is that like, no, you should have liquid cooled. Fans will not be sufficient. Whether or not they're big fans of you. Okay. I think I'm gonna go more off this little sketch I did here. And then I haven't watched G1 Transformers, but if I'm not mistaken, there's literally like an episode which is very 90s 80s of it, as I've said so much throughout this stream, of like them being like, girl Autobots exist, and it's like this was necessary. You needed dedicated screen time just to justify this. Granted, it might, I will say it might be weird if there wasn't any girl characters at one point, and then it's just like, oh, now there is. But still, being like, they exist? Crazy. Let me redraw this, but I still wanted it. Oh, wrong layer. As is so often the case. Honestly, I feel like, you know, I gotta say it, I feel like part of my decision to just be like, I'll just do Onsta's face from the model is tied to the fact that, again, in classic Transformers, just kind of a flat metal sheet that they'd... Wait, actually. Match those eyebrows a bit more. I think that works best. That works better for the general robot vibe. Not have it look too much like actual hair eyebrows. Whoop. Oh wait, there it is. Alright, I do think I need to adjust some things, like, for example. Making this more like this. Yeah, I think that's better. That's better. Okay. Line consistency would be great. Honestly, I don't think that's too bad. I don't think that's too bad, especially once we color it. I might just call a stream here because I don't just have to color it. I also want to draw the car for reference down here. So let me try. Maybe move these two around so that way they're not bumping into each other as much. But yeah, I think that's pretty cool. What was I thinking of? Oh, my back's hurting. But thanks for hanging with me as I did it. Means a lot. What? Let me go to my little pause screen as I close out CSP. Find someone to raid. Very good start. Yeah. I mean, so the line art is definitely very flat right now. But what I'm planning, oh, didn't even go on to pause screen. What I'm planning right now is like there's a certain very painterly style that's used in, like, you know, 80s box art, just in general, and definitely for Transformers. So give some of that vibe to it, and I think it'll really come to life, on top of car underneath it for composition, and then like a spacey background. I think it'll all come out very cool. It just takes a lot more time to do all that to get it done properly. And I don't like, you know, like I said, on top of having to go to sleep, I don't like to feel like I gotta rush just to get everything done in one night. But I appreciate y'all for stopping by. Let us see who there is to raid. This is my dashboard. It is not Twitch. This is not my twitch.tv. Let us see. Barry's live streaming UFO 50. Dom, Schmeej. Where's Schmeej been going? Schmeej's just been going for half an hour, so let's raid him. Definitely seems like the best candidate. Shadow Mage Alpha. Everyone go give him some well wishes. Again, thanks for coming by. We're going to have more of an actual full week next week when I come back. And hopefully with a bit more games. You know, hoping to play a bit more games when we come back. So I'll see y'all then. Bye.